Hello and welcome to the first episode of the InDev podcast. I'm your host Jack, and I'm joined tonight by my fellow co-hosts Sam Asher.
Hello.
And Jake Furness.
Hello.
And also with us tonight is a very special guest, Joshua Hagger.
Hello.
So due to the moderate success of our last one of these we did, we thought we'd try another one, but this time we're going to do it in a little bit of a different format. So we're going to be a little bit more news oriented. So we're going to first run through what's happened this week. We've got three main topics that we're going to talk about. We're going to run through them, then give our thoughts and feelings on them, a bit like we did last week. So the three topics for this evening is the Elder Scrolls Online veteran content announcement, Battlefield 4 Naval Strike expansion pack delayed, and the fact that Facebook has been bought... not Facebook's been bought by Oculus Rift. Oculus Rift has been bought by Facebook. So yeah, if you enjoy this one, please let us down in the comments below, leave a like, and subscribe to the Webdevs YouTube channel, and of course, remember to check out Webdevs.co for all the latest gaming info and other cultural news. We'll try and keep this one as short as we can, about an hour or so, just so it doesn't get too boring. Okay. Moving into our first discussion point for this evening is the Elder Scrolls Online veteran content has been announced. Now this is long awaited if you've been following this game, because really we haven't got too much PvE endgame news releases. We've got PvP rammed down our throats pretty much every month, and it's a little worrying to see a week before this game's being, well, not even a week now, only 3 days from this game being launched at the time of recording, that they're actually starting to give us veteran content PvE announcements. But it is what it is. First, I'm just going to run through what the article that was posted, the Pulsage post on the Elder Scrolls Online website. So what type of PvE endgame content can we expect to see in ESO? Well, first of all, you're going to get veteran ranks. Now, veteran ranks, they start from as soon as you hit level 50.
Is that prestiging, really?
Not really. I'll just explain it. So basically, what veteran ranks are, once you hit level 50, there are 10 veteran ranks that you can unlock, and they're basically achieved much through the leveling system within the main game. But they are called veteran ranks, and you don't get a specific level. You will just be known as level 50, veteran rank 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and these gain you special access to content. So you'll have heard them in the past talking about the level 50 plus and the 50 plus plus content that you can enjoy in the Elder Scrolls Online, and that will be the opening of the other factions to you. So same in the Unmarried Dominion. As soon as I hit veteran rank 1, I'm going to be either be able to choose the Ebonheart Pact or the Daggerfall Covenant to unlock. Now, when I've unlocked that first faction, I can't go back on that choice, okay? So if I choose the Ebonheart Pact, I can't then choose the Daggerfall Covenant until a later point in the veteran rank system, which they haven't told us yet. There's going to be 6 veteran dungeons that will be unlocked once you hit those veteran ranks, that will continue the story from the dungeons that you've already completed within the game. So you may have had a chance in the last beta or some of the previous betas to experience the very first level 12 to 15 dungeons in I can't remember what they're called now, but there's Fungal Grotto, there's the Unmarried Dominion one when you're in that kind of Ayleid ruin place, and then there's the Daggerfall Covenant one with all the spiders. I can't remember the names. There's also going to be those veteran dungeons will have tougher mobs and better boss fights, so they'll all be scaled to your level, so your level 50 level from those earlier dungeons, and they'll add new story content, etc. that you can enjoy. Craglorn is the only adventure zone that has been announced so far, which again I'm not too sure about, but it is situated between Hammerfell and Cyrodiil, and the story within Craglorn will revolve around varying constellations have gone missing from the sky. So that's the warrior, the thief, the mage, and the serpent that have been specified on the website. And if you have played Skyrim, you'll know whenever you level up, you kind of look to the stars, and whenever you swing round, you'll be able to see there's varying constellations in the sky, and behind that, you should be able to see the mage, the thief, and the warrior ones. So just to give a little bit of context of what those are. But what the story is actually going to involve, we don't really have any idea, other than the 18 public dungeons in this area, which is a fairly significant amount. They will all be tied into the story, and all of those public dungeons will be playable. Now, if you've been following the Webdevs.co, if you've been following my posts over there, you'll know that I originally thought that Trials was another adventure zone that we'd be getting. I've actually now learned that isn't the case. Trials is going to be the 12-man group endgame PvE content for the Elder Scrolls Online, and it's the largest group size of all the endgame PvE content. Now, the actual information we have on Trials is very, very limited. Other than they will be very challenging and require a lot of coordination. There will also be leaderboards, worldwide leaderboards. So if you do it they will be timed. So if you do it in a very fast time, you will get higher up that leaderboard with your time next to you. Dying will also add in a penalty to the entire group within the trials mode. So yeah, that is all the information we could gather from that article. So now I'm going to hand over to Jake. Jake, what do you think about this announcement of the endgame PvE content? Being an Elder Scrolls fan as you are.
Well, I think that I was quite worried about there not being anything after you hit level 50 and you've done the first faction again, second faction again. Imagine it would take longer to do it the second and third time, obviously, because the leveling up would take longer, I reckon, because there's only 10 extra levels. But I think there'll be the people who sit there hours and hours, day on day, playing this game straight, and they'll finish it really quickly, and they won't have anything to do. But I think if they release Kragnorn soon, then I think that would be fine. It's considering 18 public dungeons, which could, depending on the length of each one, if some of them are short or whatever, or if they're all the same standard long length, then I think that would be take some time. And also the leaderboard thing with Trials, lots of people would do it again and again and again to try and get the top levels, so I would definitely probably try that to see if I'm actually any good at it. But I think this is good news, very good news, but I think they need to add more still.
Okay, thank you very much. Just before I pass over to you, Josh, this is worth bringing up. Actually, Kragnorn won't ship with the game, which is
it's going to be DLC.
Yeah, it's going to be in the first DLC pack, the first monthly update. Just about 1 month afterwards, you'll get Kragnorn, which I think is a little bit crazy. So, Josh, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts and opinions on the endgame group PvE content?
I'm glad they're adding more levels just to start. Like, you can veteranize, go up levels, and that's a good point, because I was worried that it was just going to be like World of Warcraft, where you just go up each time and they add more levels as DLC, which you have to pay for, which I was quite worried about, because I was like, I don't have this much money in the world just to go and buy extra levels and extra zones and things. So I'm glad they're doing apparently all the DLC for free and things. And Kragnorn sounds like a great area to go. Missing Stars in the Sky sounds quite good, actually. It's quite a different take to what Skyrim was, level wise and quest wise as well. But it's had to be done because of which it's going to be better for some people than others, and it's unfortunate that some people, big Skyrim fans, aren't actually liking the look of this game because it's not exactly the same to Skyrim.
Yeah.
But I think it's good so far, but only time will tell.
Would you agree that more needs to be added? Would you say more, maybe another adventure zone, perhaps?
I think they may do something like World of Warcraft did, by adding a whole new island and things on top of Cyrodiil, because that opens up hundreds of possibilities and lets the developers from ZeniMax have free will of what they want to do. It's not restricted by past games.
Sorry, where would you like the zone to be?
Maybe on a different island or something.
Different island, okay, so maybe like Aldmeris or something, from where the High Elves came from, or at Mora, where the Nords came from. Or
place, because if they can add these extra places in, it gives their developers free will, which gets more new and interesting gameplay for the players, really.
Okay, thank you very much. And Sam, currently considering buying this game, and he's just going to relate this to some other
Can I
MMOs.
just say something quickly?
Yeah, sure.
We've all bought this game apart from Sam. Just saying.
Yeah, we have. Me, Jake, and Josh will be there pretty much from the hour zero playing this game.
Not-
Sam,
Unfortunately, not me. Not
yeah,
from-
because he's only got 3 days early access, and we've got 5. Sam, so I'm going to pass over to you now. How would you compare this to other MMOs you've played in terms of endgame PvE content?
Well, first off, one thing which I mentioned in the previous video which you've made was that I felt that the game was missing endgame content, and I felt that they needed to add more levels. So when this was announced, naturally to me, this was fantastic, and it's something which has actually increased my want to buy the game. The fact that once I have gone all the way, I'll have some other stuff to do. But in terms of how it compares to other games, I think endgame content is something which MMOs can quite often struggle with, and as Josh mentioned, in World of Warcraft, you just found yourself just constantly paying for more and more levels, which is something which it's disgusting, really. I hate it. I'm not a fan of DLC anyway, but that's a discussion for another day. So the addition of endgame content's always nice, and what I found from just looking at what they're saying they're going to add, this endgame content is actually particularly good. The addition of everything, varying around the constellations, I like that. I think that's good. It reminds me of both the stones from Skyrim and the choices you can make at the beginning in Oblivion. I've always enjoyed the whole star sign stuff, and I like Trials. Trials looks fantastic. 12-man group PvE, who can't enjoy that really? And any coordination in the game for me is fantastic, and it's particularly important in an MMO to have coordination, or to incorporate coordination to the game, something which other games haven't incorporated fantastically. And the addition of things like that sounds fantastic, and as you mentioned in the previous video as well, that's something which they've incorporated in the PvP with massive group rates. And so overall, I think the endgame content which you can see here is really strong. And I agree with Jake, there's not enough there yet, but the fact that they're suggesting that there is going to be a lot, so 18
monthly
public
updates
dungeons.
sounds good.
Monthly updates good. Everything they've announced here looks good, and everything they've said has furthered my will to buy the game.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. I basically agree with what you guys have said. I mean, I 100% agree there is definitely not enough here. We need another adventure zone added onto this to keep those hardcore raiders entertained for at least, another 10 minutes. Craglorn, although it does look to be pretty fantastic, I'm going to say 18 public dungeons. Liking that. Only 6 veteran dungeons? Doesn't really seem like enough to me. I mean, I really enjoyed Vulgar Grotto, and I really enjoyed the Ameri Dominion and the Daggerfall Covenant ones, the 12 to 15 ones that I played. But if you're only giving me double that much and then saying, oh, that's your end game, that's what you're going to be doing for the next, 6 months,
Yeah.
that doesn't seem enough to me. And so I think we need a new adventure zone, and we need a new... we need more of those dungeons.
I think the addition of dragons might be interesting if they added those at some point, maybe, because
Yeah,
that's quite big.
interesting, but extremely law-breaking. Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's a topic for a whole nother day.
I mean,
Yeah.
given when it was given at E3, when everybody was saying, are there going to be dragons for the developers, and they said no because that's against the law. I mean,
yeah.
come.
Well, there were dragons, only a few.
Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Let's
We'll
stop.
we'll save the will there be dragons talk for another day, I think. Now there's just something that when I was planning this show this evening, something I picked up on actually. A picture of Craglorn should appear on your screens now, and if the guys could look at it in the show notes, on the bottom right there we see kind of a river with two islands, and I thought, hang on, this zone is meant to be set between Hammerfell and Cyrodiil. Could that be one of the Cyrodiilian cities that we haven't seen in the PvP? And because if you've seen Cyrodiil in the PvP, you'll know that they actually had to cut off Kvatch and Anvil because they're trying to make it into more of a perfect triangular shape to make it a bit more balanced. And then I googled a map of Anvil from Oblivion, and actually it's very similar. I mean, you've got the island there, you've got the kind of the what's that? The bit jutting out from the mainland. You've got, I think you can almost see some docks in there as well. And I think if we got Anvil in this zone, that could be really interesting. Like going back and comparing that, because currently, if you've tried to have a look at cities in Cyrodiil, they've kind of just been a bit war-torn and, you know, not very good. And actually getting there in the first place is really hard, because one, they aren't marked on the map, so you have to compare it to a map. If you played the Oblivion game a lot, that probably won't be a problem for you. But you have to get up another map of Cyrodiil and, you know, work your way through them. And actually getting there through the enemy faction territories is quite hard. So I think a PvE city for Cyrodiil could be really interesting. Really looking forward to seeing what that yields and if that is Anvil at all. But there should be another picture pop up on your screens now of, if that was the case, where this is likely to be located, so we can see kind of in the bay between Hammerfell, Cyrodiil, Vale and Wood, just northeast of the Somerset Isles. So just before we finish this little section on the Elder Scrolls Online, we're going to play you a video of the leaked intro sequence that was released, I think, a day ago now. So here it is, and enjoy.
The storm is coming. The scent of war swirls in the air. As the Imperial throne lies empty, the fate of all Tamriel rests on the strength of a common prisoner's soul. Evil awakens. A long-banished foe stirs. Those who would destroy Tamriel seek out dangers to their dark plot. And so death's long arm reaches out. It is the 582nd year of the Second Era. The drums of war are sounding. This is where our journey begins.
Okay, welcome back, and we're just going to ask a few of the guys what they thought of that opening cinematic. Jake, I'll move over to you first. When you watched that cinematic, what were the first few things that popped into your head?
Oh my god, this is awesome. That's basically the first thing that popped into my head. And when I played the beta and I opened it, I was like, when it was loading in, it's like insert cinematic here, and then we play. And a bit at the end of that cinematic where it like zooms into the back of the player who's like not certain who it is. I think that was really cool. Yeah. It's really cool. And also Michael Gambon's awesome.
Okay. Josh, have you got anything to add on that?
Well, I thought my first thought was, oh my god, they've got Michael Gambon again.
Yeah.
That is all I thought of.
Michael
and then
Gambon
I was like,
doing
I'm actually going to be looking at this gameplay.
Yeah. I think it's good because it gives kind of a bit of context, doesn't it? There's a bit of context to the story.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Place intro here wasn't very helpful in the beta.
No. Okay, and Sam, I don't know if you have any particular
No,
views on
not
this.
much I can add to what the
No.
guys have said already.
No.
Yeah, the trailer was really cool. I liked that. Having played through the opening few scenes of the game, I liked, there was nothing spoiled majorly. It just gave you a bit of background around the opening scene, and it just looked awesome. Yeah.
Okay, it's pretty universal on that. Have we got any final thoughts, guys, on either the in-game PvE content or the intro sequence?
Not really.
Think I'm
No.
good.
Jake?
Maybe.
I'm looking at the map again for Craglorn, and I kind of disagree with the anvil thing.
You kind of... Okay, fine.
Oh.
Go on.
Because
Ooh.
if you look at the map, you can see south of Craglorn, and there's a mountain range, not an ocean.
Pardon?
So,
Could be a river.
Anvil's on the west coast of Tamriel,
Yeah.
on the ocean, and there's a mountain range south of Craglorn. So, I think it'd be northeast Hammerfell, if anything.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, if we pop that image back up of Cyrodiil, if you played Oblivion, you know actually Kvarch isn't necessarily a mountain range, but it's on kind of quite a hilly area. It's on quite a big hill, and you have to... the opening few scenes of the game, we have to trek up that. Yeah,
Oh god.
fairly painful. So that could be... when I was going just look back through it now, I even think maybe we could get Kvarch in the top right there. But that might be
That's
bending it
possible.
slightly, because if you look at the places on the map, Kvarch is... But they haven't had problems with changing the areas of cities, as Jake and I will know, playing through Desharn, and we looked at a map of Narcissus and Mournhold. Narcissus is a few miles south of Mournhold.
Tens of kilometres.
Yeah, exactly.
They've
And
moved
but
it
apparently Narcissist in ESO is just west of Mournhold. So yeah, what make of that what you will. But so moving to our next discussion topic. So Battlefield 4 Naval Strike delayed. Now this is the third expansion pack in the premium calendar. Josh and I have some fairly strong opinions on this one.
I think we should let them go first, otherwise we might.
Okay, DICE announced on Tuesday that it was delaying the release of the Battlefield 4 Naval Strike expansion pack till mid-April after they found some game crippling issues in the expansion for PC and Xbox One. This came after the DLC was meant to release on the same day. From a post on Battlelog, they said, "We are delaying the launch of Battlefield 4 Naval Strike on PC and Xbox One. We've detected an issue and it needs to be solved. Quality is our number one priority." Okay, and we will not release Battlefield 4 Naval Strike on PC or Xbox One until we feel it meets the highest quality level possible. Once we have a confirmed date for PC and Xbox One, we'll be sure to update those players on our official channels. We appreciate your patience and look forward to seeing everyone on the battlefield.
Can I just add, they've updated that post since, saying
and
wanted
so
to provide more detail about the delay of Battlefield 4 Naval Strike, saying we have now decided to delay the Xbox One version, and etc. etc. It basically just goes over everything already, trying to fix. For the Xbox One version, it goes into a bit more detail, basically saying animation system hinders players from engaging targets in set circumstances using popular weapon configurations.
yeah, that is actually already a bug on PC, because I can't use the LVG with my AR-160 without my character having a complete spack and holding his gun above his head. So yeah, it's not too good. Josh, I'll let you go first on this one.
Well,
what do you think?
Well, about 4 weeks ago, was it now, I bought Battlefield 4 Premium, because I've just moved over to PC about 3-4 months ago now, and I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, one expansion pack may be late, yeah, that's fine, I'll deal with it.
So that was the second assault, and
That's second assault, yeah. And then I was like, oh, Naval Strike will be on time, it's being made, it's the last one by, is it Montreal?
No, DICE Sweden, yeah, DICE last
Sweden.
one by DICE Sweden, yeah.
Last one died by DICE Sweden. I thought, oh, this will be really good. I've seen lots of gameplay on it, like the old cannon on... Was that... I can't remember which one that is now.
Yeah, it's on the hill map, yeah.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
quite
all
liked the idea of Lost Islands and the Malaysian plane incident at the moment, which was a bit weird.
It's a little bit, yeah.
And I was like... I I didn't like one of the naming though. Operation Mortar. I think there's already too many operations in Battlefield 4.
They
We've
are-
got Operation
they are
Fire.
family
We've got
operations.
Operation Firestorm. We've got Operation Locker. We've got Operation Metro. I think
Yeah.
Operation Mortar might just be pushing it a bit over the edge with the operations.
Mhm.
And I was like, and I feel a bit let down by Battlefield 4 at the moment. I prefer Battlefield 3. I still play a lot because it's less buggy basically and less glitchy, and sometimes it's a bit more fun to play.
Yeah.
And and they haven't even given us a release date of when Naval Strike will actually be coming out. The only thing they're reimbursing us with is saying that it will still come out 2 weeks later for everyone else,
Yeah,
which
well,
isn't really much. I was expecting maybe a free weapon or something for premium players or something, like a knife or something.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I've got to add, otherwise I will just rant on for ages.
they have said they're going to release in the mid-April window, but April's a busy month for games. Like, I mean, we've got the Elder Scrolls Online dropping. We're all going to be playing the shit out of that.
No, it says early April in their update, by the way.
Yeah, I know,
so-
but ESO releases on April the 4th. You know how early? If they're going to release early April, and it's probably going to be on the Tuesday after that, and by that time, I'm not a Battlefield 4 player anymore. I'm a ESO hardcore raider. So yeah, that's. I don't know. Battlefield 4 has so far just been a train wreck of a game. They couldn't. They released with an awful product. I mean, the
They needed another
crash.
6 months. They needed to do what Watch Dogs did and delay it by 6 months.
Yeah,
That wasn't
Uh,
why they delayed Watch Dogs.
They
I'm
want to do
sorry.
it for next.
No,
They
the
want to do it
reason
for
the
next gen.
no, the reason they delayed Watch Dogs was because they watched what happened with GTA 5, and Watch Dogs is basically GTA 5 with hacking. I'm sorry to anyone who's really anticipating Watch Dogs, and so they said one giant sandbox that just came out. We can't release it too soon. That I mean, I'm not saying that it was bad that they delayed it by 6 months, but that's the reason they did it, and it was the right thing to do.
okay.
Because now everyone has money again.
Yeah, well, after paying that, $1 million subscription fee, we won't have any money. But so this game's just been a complete train wreck for me. I mean, they launched with an awful product, and they've been chasing their tails ever since. And some people have been saying, "Oh, it's EA's fault for releasing it too early." It's not. If you'd have told me that 2 or 3 months ago, I'd have said, "Yeah, EA, rush it out the door." 6 months after the game's been released, and you still haven't fixed your game. That's DICE's fault. That's DICE's fault for lying to EA, saying that they'd meet deadlines when they hadn't. And I just think they really, this was the one game that they couldn't fuck up, and they royally fucked it up. Okay, I mean, after SimCity, after all that bullshit, after Medal of Honor Warfighter, they really couldn't put another foot wrong, and they did. And with the biggest with one of the biggest franchises they own, next to FIFA, Battlefield is the biggest EA franchise, and there are now hardcore fans saying, "I'm not touching BF5 or BFBC3 or police-themed Battlefield from the Medal of Honor Warfighter devs." I'm sorry, it's not good enough. They should have. I'm not even sure if delaying it would have worked, because if it's this broken 6 months after launch. I'm lost for words, to be honest, with this game. And Naval Strike being delayed is the icing on the cake of what has been a shit premium calendar.
There's only one thing which can make it worse.
What?
The Dragon's Teeth being delayed.
Oh yeah.
As well.
Well, no, just Dragon's Teeth. If Dragon's Teeth is just crap, I'm not buying the next Battlefield. If I know Naval Strike's going to be good because I've seen gameplay and I'm quite looking forward to it, which is part of the reason why I'm so pissed off that it's been delayed. But I mean, if Dragon's Teeth turns out to be crap, I'm going to be very angry, because we need some urban combat in BF4, because we don't have any. I mean, in BF3 was basically most of the maps were
Countryside.
Were urban warfare. You had Metro. You had all the strike. The Back to Karkan map pack was fantastic. One of the best map packs we had. Aftermath, one of the best map packs we had, and they were all urban warfare. And we haven't got any of that so far in BF4.
I do miss Davenman Peak.
Yeah, well, no, that's not really an urban map, but I mean.
No, but still, just adding it out there.
Yeah, I mean, and even the second assault maps. The second assault maps weren't very good. I'm sorry. Operation Metro, fine. Caspian Border, fine. I mean, I do enjoy Gulf of Oman a lot. I enjoy Davenman Peak more. I mean, we've already paid for Gulf of Oman to be brought back in BF3, but now we... no DICE, please. And then for whatever reason, we got Operation Firestorm, everyone's favourite map, with now even more fire that you can burn yourself on. Jesus Christ!
I get huge frames.
Fire in video games should just be evicted just right now. I mean, Black Ops Zombies was ruined by fire. Okay, simple fact. You couldn't run around the map without getting your feet roasted or whatever that bullshit was. So I'm going to hand over to Jake now, because Jake's got this game on Xbox One. What have your experience with the BF4 been so far, and are you reasonably pissed off that they've delayed Naval Strike?
When I got the game, everyone was complaining, "Oh, it's terrible, it's terrible." And I didn't really see that at first, but now, like, watching PC gameplay and stuff, I can see that. I think they did a better job on the consoles, I think, overall, on the games. And when I got a second Assault early, I played it for about 2 days, and got bored.
Yeah.
And then I played China Rising for 10 minutes, and got bored. And now I just completely ignored the game, and I didn't even know this happened until a couple of days ago, or until it happened, but until the day after it happened. And to be honest, I don't really care anymore. It's just the game was fun until it got so repetitive. I was doing exactly the same thing every day. All the maps are they're not terrible. They're too good. They're terrible.
You mean you don't enjoy the balanced gameplay that?
Yeah.
Well, you mean you don't enjoy the more conquest?
This one's too balanced.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say they designed this map. Well, they've already said they designed this game around conquest, which I could also rant on about for hours, saying how that was a massive mistake and how Rush, one of the most popular gamers, they managed to pull DICE stats out of their arse again, because DICE stats last time said that Operation Firestorm was the most popular map in the game. They've also now pulled DICE stats out of their arse and said less than 20% of our player base play Rush regularly. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. The only mode I played in BF3 was Rush. Rush and TDM on Noshar Canals, and you had me set for the evening. Sam, your thoughts, please.
Well, following that, I don't think there's that much I can add. I mean, I don't know if you can pick it up from how I speak about other games, but I've never been that much of an FPS gamer. But these guys managed to convince me to get Battlefield 3. And I'm going to say I really enjoyed it.
When we said we managed to get you got BF3, we gave you a free code.
Yeah, just
for
not mention that for now.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Oh wait, they managed to convince me to play BF3. Let's put it better that way. And I'm going to be honest, I enjoyed it. I thought that the combat was good, and it was one of the better FPSs that I've played. And so when the guys said BF4 was appalling, I didn't really believe them until I played it around with friends, and then yeah. It is appalling, and this I've been following the news about BF4 from when EA were threatened with lawsuits, and this is just as far as video games go, this is the worst I have ever seen a video game launch. Ever. This is just especially from a AAA title like Battlefield 4. Like, we're not talking about a little indie game here. We're talking about one of the biggest franchises in the world. And they fucked it up, okay? DICE, get your act sorted for Battlefront 3, because if that game isn't good, I will cry for years.
And I will also hang myself. Any parting thoughts that haven't already been screamed at the mic?
I could go on for hours. I think Battlefield 4, they're trying to get more people to buy it. They've spent all their money on the marketing campaign and not actually on the game.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. They've made this... EA have basically gone to them and said, our shareholders want you to make more money. Make more money.
Yeah. Okay. Jake, Sam, anything you want to add?
No, I've
said really.
Said mine.
Okay, cool. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our next topic. Hopefully this won't be so heated, and I have a strange feeling it will be. Oculus Rift has been bought by Facebook in a move that surprised pretty much everyone on the internet, including the omniscient Gabe Newell. They bought it for a grand sum of $2 billion, which is quite a lot, and this comes just after the Oculus team have been struggling for funds and parts. Their new dev kit 2, if you didn't know this, one of their companies that they were sourcing their parts from has gone under, and they've been struggling to get those parts again. The dev kit 2, they've had some trouble constructing that, which is why it's, I wouldn't say it's slightly late this year, but it's later, and they hope to bring it out in a statement by Mark Zuckerberg on Facebook. He said that immersive gaming will be first. Oculus already has big plans, and they won't be changing anytime soon. Already has big plans here, and that won't be changing, and we hope to accelerate them. The Rift is highly anticipated by the gaming community, and there's a lot of interest from developers in building for this platform. We're going to focus on helping Oculus build out their product and developing partnerships to support more games. Oculus will continue operating independently within Facebook to achieve this. Just a few hours after this announcement, where Facebook have said helping Oculus build their product and develop partnerships to support more games, Notch aka Marcus Pearson's cancelled his appointment with the Oculus team to bring Minecraft as a launch title for the Oculus Rift, which is obviously a huge blow, a very big blow to the Oculus Rift, because having a Minecraft in your launch lineup for your new VR headset, that's quite a big thing. So I'm going to get your reactions first. Sam, I'm going to go to you, seeing as I don't think we've heard quite a lot, but we haven't heard that much of you this evening. So over to you, Sam.
Okay, well, the first thing I'm going to point out is a different thing which Mark Zuckerberg said. So we've already got that he said, what was it? That they're going to be not changing anything. Okay, another thing which Mark Zuckerberg, aka one of the worst people on the planet, one sec, I'll just get the quote up if you'll give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry I closed it because I'm an idiot. Here we go. Oh my god, I can't find it. Anyway, basically, what he said was that mobile gaming is the current, but they're going to be focusing on the future of social games. He said social games when he was talking about the Oculus Rift. And that
What does he mean by
basically, he means games like Farmville.
Oh god.
And I think that
You play
basically
Farmville with an Oculus.
underpins every single problem with Facebook buying the Oculus Rift. Now, one thing I'm going to say to Mark Zuckerberg now is that you just wasted your $2 billion, good friend. Okay? Nobody on the Oculus Rift is going to be interested in social games. The Oculus Rift is the hobbyist's dream and the hardcore gamer's dream. It's not something which casual gamers are going to be playing. Okay? It's something which you hook up to your PC, do a couple of things, and then you can play it. Right? It's not something which is a standalone console, unless you plan to be investing your $2 billion in creating a standalone console in which you'll be extending the date at which it will be released, which will annoy everybody more than they're already annoyed with you and your new Facebook layout. Honestly, the Oculus Rift is something I have been anticipating hotly since it was announced, and I've had my hands on one and I've used one, and it's amazing. Although I don't think virtual reality will be finished until you can trick what I can smell as well, virtual reality is certainly something which everybody, certainly in the more hardcore section of gaming, has been really anticipating and wanting to see. And I am worried that Zuckerberg is going to ruin it like he ruined Facebook.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Sam. We'll have reactions to each other in a minute. Jake, I'll hand over to you now. What do you think about this announcement?
I hate Mark Zuckerberg now more than I did, because there's this specific branch of gaming that I've been waiting for. It's like full dive virtual reality gaming, which is kind of complicated, but it's basically where you lie on your bed and the device on your head completely stops your movements and transfers them into the game, so it's like you're living in the game, which is like full immersion, which is awesome. But the Oculus Rift was the closest thing to that, and if they had like funding and they were independent for like, I'd give it 15 years, they would have been able to do something similar. But now, while they're working on Farmville for the Oculus Rift, that's going to slow that down, and that's disappointing. And yeah, basically, I just hate Mark Zuckerberg loads, because I was really looking forward to this, and I haven't had a chance to use one, but I wish I could. But yeah, and he has way too much
May I
money.
just quickly add a couple of things?
Go on.
Firstly, I found the quote, which was, "Mobile is the gaming platform of today, and we're also getting ready for the platforms of tomorrow. Oculus has the chance to create the most social platform ever." So I'll just leave you with that one. And also, just an extra bit of news to put on top of the Oculus buyout. Facebook shares have dropped 7%.
I know.
since
I know.
they-
How good is that?
7%. That just doesn't happen.
Everyone hates Mark Zuckerberg.
Basically, you can
everyone
buy a
hates
share.
Mark Zuckerberg.
You can buy a share of Facebook for $4.50 cheaper than you could before they bought the Oculus Rift. For a deal that they paid $2 billion for. It is, okay, I'm not going to say it's on par with Battlefield 4, but this is another gaming calamity.
He's not quite as low as BF4 is, but you know, he's getting there.
And I'm
Right,
staring at a picture of Mark Zuckerberg now and just wanting to punch my screen.
Do you reckon
Hope that he feels
Farmville
the
is
pain.
gonna release as buggy as BF4 did for the Oculus Rift? Because that would be a sight to see, just like your
I think they
cow.
should team up. I think they should make a Battlefield 4
Yeah,
Swift version, because then it'd be the most worst thing ever.
Or a Battleville where you have to like nurture guns or something as they grow out the ground.
So another thing, this isn't
not
the
a
first
euphemism.
Facebook acquisition which has failed. Facebook bought WhatsApp last month, and
yeah.
their share price dropped by 5%.
Lol.
Absolutely awful.
Okay, Josh, I'll hand over to you now. What do you think about this announcement?
I think it's the worst thing to happen to gaming since the introduction
Battlefield? Oh,
of
okay.
Nintendo 3DS. I think I'm going to go that far.
How dare you? 3DS is fantastic.
It's amazing.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Yes.
Okay, well,
okay.
let's keep that controversial point out of discussion about virtual reality.
Yeah, I think it's going. I think now they've teamed up with Facebook. It's going to be surpassed by other VR headsets, namely Project Morpheus by PlayStation and others.
I can feel Jake cringing in his chair right now. I hate Sony. Okay.
And I think it's just going to. It's good that they bring out Development Kit 2. It looks really good. Apparently, it's lighter, better looking, HD, really good. But teaming up with Facebook is not going to do them any favors apart from really give them money. If Facebook leave them on their own to make their thing, it'll be fine. If it has like a small little Facebook logo on the back, I'm not really going to care. But if it's like fully branded, has Facebook on the start menu and all that lot, it's just gonna kill it, really. And $2 billion is what they needed, and I think Oculus may have just like cheated them out of some money there on top. But it's going to be
$2 billion is what they need. I think it's a bit more than what they needed.
yep. And I think VR headsets are going to come a long way. I would like to see what other companies come out with, namely Microsoft, because they haven't done anything on this issue yet, because Sony have come out with something, Microsoft haven't, but I can see them doing something where they head track with Kinect or something.
There were rumours about 2 years ago about them doing a virtual reality headset.
Well,
Facebook
Microsoft
have
come
said
up-
that after the Oculus has come out, they want to make their own one as well. They have said that.
Weren't Microsoft doing AR though? I thought
No,
Microsoft doing
they had
augmented
a
reality.
prototype VR headset.
Mm.
Oh, right.
Isn't
Someone
augmented-
apparently
isn't
saw it.
augmented reality where you have like a suit on and you got to do.
No,
No, augmented reality is just.
Go
No, go ahead, Jack.
No, you do it. Go on.
Alright, whilst we're talking about 3DSs briefly, you could do augmented reality on that. Basically, the difference between AR and VR. AR is when you're still basically in the real world and there are just a few digital things which you can see of the digital world.
A bit like hologram.
Whereas VR is you're totally immersed in a digital world.
That's full dive.
Immersed.
That's full dive VR.
And
Yeah.
another thing that I might just briefly say when we're talking about Oculus being cheated out of money, they're being paid $400 million in cash, which is just insane, and $1.6 billion worth of Facebook shares.
Oh my god. Okay.
Who wants $1.6 billion worth of Facebook
Who wants
shares?
one Facebook share, let alone $1.6 billion worth? I mean, anyway, that $1.6 billion, surely that that is now less as well
Yep.
because the shares have dropped by 7%. Okay, I'm gonna share my opinion on this, and it's not necessarily in keeping with what you guys think. I
Uh-oh.
actually think this is going to be a good thing for Oculus. Okay, I think it's going to be a good thing for the Oculus Rift because there were very, very worrying leaked bits of info from that company saying they weren't keeping on top of things. You know, the kickstarting money was running out. The parts weren't coming in because of fake factories had shut down and all that. So I think Oculus needed this, and I mean particularly with the announcement of Project Morpheus, which I can see only being about a year and a half away, or maybe even we might even get it this year. They haven't really said anything about the release date yet. So the Project Morpheus, they needed another big cash injection for them to even consider releasing a consumer version of this, and I think for Oculus itself, this is going to be a fantastic deal. For Facebook, this is the biggest waste of money Mark Zuckerberg has ever. Why? There is a reason everyone is surprised at this announcement is because Facebook is a social networking website that has recently branched out to buying other social media platforms. Why do you need a VR headset company? That makes no sense. Okay, that literally makes no sense. From a business standpoint, I mean, yes, it could be the future of gaming, but even then, the money that Oculus is realistically making is not going to be that much in comparison to the size of Facebook. I mean, look at Sony and Microsoft, okay? the PS3 and the Xbox 360, old gen, they made up a tiny percentage of Sony and Microsoft's overall profits, okay? Some may even say it's not even worth them making consoles.
No, because
how insignificant the amount of money they actually made from those consoles was. And now, VR headsets, which are even more specialised than consoles. I mean, consoles, you have casual gamers, you have core gamers, all that. Now, a casual gamer is not going to be very interested in a VR headset, especially when they're 200 quid, which is what I assume they're going to release the price at. Core gamers are a very, very small audience for the profits that they're clearly wanting to make. Okay? This is a very bad decision on Facebook's part, a very bad decision, and I hope beyond hopes that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't pull his support from this project, because if the Oculus team falls, I don't want to see VR exclusively in the hands of Sony, because whereas everyone, they may be, all chummy with the gamers now, a few years ago with the PS3, they definitely weren't, and they made some stupid decisions like Microsoft have made and continue to make currently, although Jet's going to hate me for saying that.
I won't reply with that.
Yeah, good, thank you. But I just, why Microsoft? What? Not Microsoft. Sorry. Why Facebook? Why do you need to do that? And on the subject of Microsoft getting back at this, I don't think they will do VR. I think they will do AR, because there was a prototype AR, and I can remember this now. There was that little projector thing that you put in your lounge.
There was something before that.
And it would
the holodeck.
Yeah, the hollow thing
that
would
insane.
That like projected all stuff on your walls. That I could see that being good for a console, or the type of audience that Microsoft are clearly marketing their console towards, the more casual gamer audience, and I can see that being quite nice as an alternative to the PS4's virtual reality. They say, we've got augmented reality, and if they're going to be the only console or the only platform that has AR, that could be really interesting, I think. But if Oculus goes down the toilet, yeah. Bad times. I don't want Sony controlling especially seeing as Sony have said they won't include PC support until a number of years after the Project Morpheus comes out. So
That's just depressing.
I know, really depressing.
Red pill, blue pill.
So yeah, overall I think it's positive. The Oculus team are going to get a lot out of this deal. They're going to get
$400 million in cash.
Exactly, and some worthless Facebook shares. Then Facebook are going to get nothing out of it, and if Mark Zuckerberg pulls his support, I'm going to kill myself again. So yeah.
This time being.
I would also, just as my closing remark, like to point out that it's a sign of the times that legendary developer John Carmack is now working for a social networking company. That's disturbing. John Carmack works for Facebook. Just think that over.
Yeah.
Okay. Any final thoughts on
I would like to add
Oculus? Yep.
it's sad and also a good thing, but I would like to see where other companies come from this, like Microsoft, other companies. Steam actually, I would even see maybe going into this
Valve.
market. Valve going into the market.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
that notorious company Steam, God.
I forget.
in their console war, yeah. Okay,
Them
cool.
and Nabe Guel.
Maybe they'll hire. Who was that guy that Microsoft fired and he went to Zynga?
Oh god, just ignore
Yeah,
him.
imagine if Gabe Newell hired him. Just you know what? Facebook, hire him and get him to fuck up your Oculus Rift for you. Do a Microsoft on us. Yeah. Jake, anything you'd like to say regarding the Oculus Rift?
I said basically what I wanted to say. To be honest, I'm not going to reply to your Microsoft comments because I'm going to get loads of hate for that. If I did, there's no point. But yeah, I'm just disappointed, mainly. Really, I think it's a good thing they got more money. That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that marks the end of the show this evening, guys.
No, it doesn't. I've got some extra stuff to say.
Oh yeah, well,
Why?
Sam has his little comedy segment at the end.
It's not
But
comedy.
just
Come on.
just a few things I've got to mention before I hand it over to Sam. Remember to check out the Webdevs.co for more information on the Elder Scrolls Online when it's released this weekend. 3
not
days
this
to go.
weekend.
3 days.
It's not released this weekend.
Well,
No,
early
it's
access
get it,
this
yeah.
weekend, whatever.
You can get
You
good
know,
scraps.
8
I'm-
days to go, even for everyone else.
Yeah, well, I'm storing my custard creams up and getting my bottles of Coke
Yeah,
and
the Jew.
lemonade assembled. Yeah.
Jew.
Hardcore Mountain Dew rage.
Yep.
Yeah. Getting ready for that hardcore raiding. Level 50 by Tuesday night. Yeah.
Yeah,
Jake?
by the time I've got the game,
Sunday
you'll be level
morning.
50.
yeah. Literally an hour after the game's launched.
Yeah, level veteran 10, obviously.
I bet you 50 quid though there will be a level 50 by the end of Monday. On Monday evening there will be a level 50.
There probably will be, yeah.
in the game because some people are just that ridiculous at MMOs.
No. I know there will be someone level 50 because there are closed betas going on right as we speak, which get to keep their.
But they don't. The PTS doesn't get to keep their characters. They also get wiped.
Lol.
That's
Yeah,
Scrubs.
I heard they were keeping their characters.
No, they don't.
no. All beta characters are being wiped. So yeah.
And I want to ask, does anyone know anything about vanity items yet?
Yes. Well done.
Oh.
Thank you. Okay, vanity items. That really important thing that we have to cover. Basically, if I can find it, they have announced launch times for the Elder Scrolls Online. It's very cool.
Yes.
Hang on, let me just Google
It does coincide with daylight saving time. Which
Vanity
is
No.
items are always good. Just take a peek at hats and stuff like that. Who doesn't like a
Yep,
good
I love
vanity item?
hats. You can't be a good hat.
Or the sets in Dota 2. Dota
Oh, yeah.
2.
I love Dota 2.
I
That's another
demand
conversation.
my very own Dota 2 segment.
So basically, 5 days early access for North American guys. That's happening at 7 a.m. EDT on Sunday the 30th of March. All these are on the Sunday the 30th of March, by the way. The UK is happening at 12 o'clock, so that's lunchtime. Central Europe, 1 o'clock, lunchtime. Sydney, Australia, 10 p.m. Singapore, 7 p.m. And then 3 days early access. That's happening at the same times, just on Tuesday, April the 1st. And for the regular launch day, North America are getting it on at 7 p.m. on Thursday, April the 3rd. The UK are getting it at midnight on Thursday, April the 4th. Friday, April the 4th. Central Europe's getting it at 1 a.m. Sydney, Australia is getting at 10 a.m. and Singapore's getting it
Expect a
at
lot of
7
lag.
a.m. Yeah, the server's just going to be dumped, and it's going to be some of those first
We have
days
got
are going to
the
be awful.
overflow servers now.
Hopefully, the
so-
overflow servers will do something to alleviate that. But yeah, the vanity item stuff off the top of my head now, I can remember that physical Imperial Edition stuff will be shipped on 4.4.14. You'll get that on 4.4.14, and you can then redeem that on 4.4.14.
So there's no vanity
Digital
items.
pre-orders of the Imperial Edition. You'll get that from the get-go, so you'll get all the Imperial features right from the get-go, right as you log into early access. Then you've got the Explorers Pack. That will come into effect, the vanity item, the vanity pet, will come into effect on 4.4.14, and you'll get an in-game mail about that, and it'll just have the things you can put in your inventory.
What
and you
about
can-
monkey?
you can follow it around. The monkey, I assume that's coming with it, so that'll be coming on 4.4.14. So yeah,
Can we
that's.
activate more than one vanity pet at a time, or
I
can we only
don't
have
know. You will have to
Doubt
find
that.
that out for yourself in the game. But other MMOs, from playing other MMOs, I don't think.
I
you
just
can.
want an army of pets to follow me.
Before I hand over to Sam, our guild, the Knights of the Eight, will be up and running for the early access period from Sunday. You can message at Uthgar the Unbroken or at the Dark Swordsman if you
Or
want to get
Anticosh
into
for
that
me.
guild. Yeah, hang on. If you want to get that guild during the 5 days early access, in the 3 days early access, you can message any of us plus at Chikoshua if you want to get an invite. We're going to be a casual guild with events every now and again, PvP and PvE related. So we'll be doing
NA
adventures.
server only.
And yeah, I'm about to say that we'll be doing adventure zones, large group PvP raids because they're just fucking cool. We'll be on the North American server playing as the Almeri Dominion. Me, Josh, and Jake have pre-ordered the game. Sam's on the fence
Brigitte the
currently.
win.
Sam's on the fence currently, debating whether or not he wants to buy this game and see if he can get financially set up for it. That is all I have to say for this evening. I'll now hand over to Sam for
For the comedy
his-
section.
For his
It's
comedy
not
section.
a comedy section, that's insulting, but let's
it's
move on.
comedy section.
So
It's a comedy
I'm just
section.
going to start off. We mentioned John Carmack, and I know it's a little bit late, but can we have a few moments in silence for ID? I will miss
Id,
you guys.
yeah.
I've got every single Bioshock game, and
Hang on. But you mean Irrational, not ID.
Irrational. That's what I
Yeah.
said, isn't it?
No,
No
you,
should ID.
John Carmack worked for id, not
id?
Irrational. Yeah, id Software. You
I made a
scribe.
boo-boo.
You did make a boo. Don't worry, I'll edit that.
Anyway,
When I say
we'll
I edit
say
that, I won't.
goodbye
So
to
you're now just
Irrational
like a spack in front of the entire internet. Yeah, John Carmack worked for id, making Quake and shit like that.
Wait, that's the one. Oh my god.
And then Irrational made Bioshock one and Bioshock 1 and Infinite. So yeah,
The
and they
thing
have been
was, I
dissolved.
wanted to say something about ID and Irrational, and I got them mixed up. Because my head's in the wrong place.
Okay, good. Well,
Anyway,
go on. Yeah,
say goodbye to Irrational. Thanks for the save, Jack. Loving it.
that's all right.
I've got every single Bioshock game, and I'll miss the development company. And speaking of Bioshock, Burial at Sea Episode 2 is out now.
It is. Have you
Go
played
get
it?
it. Go get it.
you played
Yeah, it's good.
I really do want to get it, but I'm just holding out for that April Steam sale where everything gets slashed.
Yeah.
Is there a limit on friends?
I
on
buy
the
all of
Elder
my
Scrolls
money.
Online?
Pardon?
Is there a limit of friends on the Elder Scrolls Online?
Don't believe so.
Don't
Yeah,
see why there would be.
Yeah, there's a limit on guilds, 500 people in a guild. But anyway, that's totally irrelevant. Go on, Karen Sam.
Okay, so now the bit that you guys are claiming is a comedy section. I'm going to talk about this. This is Madness for Star Wars. For you guys who don't know, every year for Star Wars, there's a This is Madness Star Wars character tournament where I think it's 32 characters from Star Wars have fan votes to see who is the favourite. Last year's champion was Yoda, and this year we are currently in the last 16 with today's votes on Princess Leia versus R2-D2 and Admiral Tarkin versus General Grievous. And for those of you who do Predict the Madness, where you can predict who's going through, I'll quickly run you through who you should be predicting for. So, for the Rebels, it's R2-D2 versus Leia, and at the moment, I voted for Leia because it's Leia, but D2's winning, and you can see why. Next up, it's the Jedi, it's Yoda versus Obi-Wan, and I'm gonna say it's gonna be Yoda, because personally I think he might win the tournament this year. Next up, it's Chewbacca versus Han Solo. I'll be voting Chewbacca, and I think, though, it will probably go to Han Solo. Then it's Padme versus Captain Rex. I'll be voting Rex, and I really hope Rex wins, so go vote for Rex. Empire and Separatists, it's Tarkin versus Grievous. Grievous is winning at the moment by a lot of the vote because it's General Grievous. Then for Bounty Hunters, we've got the most exciting matchup, which is Boba Fett versus Jango Fett, and everybody knows that Boba Fett will win.
Yeah.
Then for the Sith, it's Palpatine versus Vader. Vader will win because he's Darth Vader. He just beat Darth Maul, so Vader will win. And then the last one, it's Pre-Visual versus Jabba the Hutt, and Jabba the Hutt is going to win. I'll just tell you that now. Jabba the Hutt's going to win. So there's your Predict the Madness. Go and make your bets. Go and do all of that, because That's
Put,
that's what's gonna
put
win.
your $1.6 billion worth of Facebook shares. I'm predicting Star Wars Madness. There you go, ladies
And there's the
and gentlemen.
comedy.
Yeah,
Another-
there's the comedy section.
There's another quick update. This is my Dota 2 section because I deserve one and I'm going to use
Oh,
it.
can I join?
They've just added world leaderboards for the ranked MMR of Dota, for those of you who know what that is. I'll just tell you
Yeah.
who's the top of each section. Top of Europe, it's Wagamama, who has the highest MMR in the game at 6.8k. For the Americas, it's Arteezy, who's my personal favourite player, with 6.5k. For Asia, it's somebody with Chinese characters that I can't say. And for China, it's Hal. Just
Dendy for
Hal.
the win.
Zendy's 60th in Europe. Just thought I'd let you know. And, okay, now it's for my low points and high points of the week. For my low points, I genuinely can't say anything other than dice. I'll just leave you with that, because that's the low point. And for the high point, guys. Yeah. And guys, if you want the high point of the week, clearly, it's the new trailer for Goat Simulator. Oh my god,
Oh,
yes. We'll link you to that in the description. It's absolutely brilliant. They've remade the launch trailer for Dead Island, and it's absolutely fantastic. So go and take a look at that, because that is my absolute high point of the week.
Watch this video
And-
quickly because it'll be removed from YouTube.
Yep. And in absolute final news, the other good things that have happened this week is there was a bit of leaked stuff about the next Assassin's Creed game about sailing in the Atlantic.
Unity.
We've been given some concept art / in-game art / general art for the Arkham Knight from Batman Arkham Knight, which I'm anticipating if I ever finish Origins, because it's not as good as the other games. But Rocksteady are developing the next one, so it will be good. If it isn't good, I'll cry, maybe even as long as I'll cry if Battlefront is bad. And we also, live now, if you go over to computerandvideogames.com, is a Dark Souls 2 stream. So if you want to take a peeky pie at Dark Souls 2, then there you go. Because who doesn't like Dark Souls 2?
This video's going to be uploaded tomorrow, which means it won't be on anymore.
It's live. Oh, they'll probably you can watch it on Twitch afterwards.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much, Sam. Have you read? There's actually a really interesting PC Gamer article out on their website about Arkham Knight that you should go and check out.
I will.
There may be something up on Webdevs over the next few days about that. Will there, Sam? I don't know.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah, Sam will give it a go. There you go.
Can I do my quick advertising thing? Because you
Is
got
this-
your advertising thing in. So it's
Well-
about my Skyrim
plug.
series I'm doing. Basically,
do
we've
a
just got our
shameless plug,
first
yeah.
weekly series on Webdevs, aside from maybe the podcast. The only weekly series we've got at the moment is to mod a Skyrim, which is what I'm doing, which is basically, it's a weekly column, and I'll be doing videos on it as well, which is running you through the entire creative and practical process of making a large-ish scale quest mod for Skyrim. This week, coming out tomorrow probably, will be planning the plotline. But I'll be getting into more practical stuff, like actual stuff inside the creation kit later. And if you have any questions about that, I've got a Q&A over on the blog already. And yeah, ask me on Webdevs, comment on the video, whatever. If you want to know anything about that, then just let me know.
Okay, thank you very much, Sam. Just as a very, very final comment,
Lots of final comments
things have
today.
got bitchy over on Twitter, and Cliff Blazinski defends the Oculus Facebook deal, calls Notch a pouty kid. Notch, your cancelling Minecraft makes you look like a pouty kid who is taking his ball and going home. It's a bratty and petty move, and it saddens me greatly. So there we go. Cliff Blazinski doesn't like Notch either. He can join the line of people who don't like Notch, including myself. And Sam, you don't like Notch either, do you?
I'm gonna go with no, because
Right,
I
okay.
don't.
Okay.
Because he didn't give us C10 or whatever it was called.
0 to the no one cares anymore. 'cause it's been
Nobody
cancelled
knows
game.
what it was
Yeah, that
called.
one.
Nobody cares about the game anymore because
No.
he cancelled it because
No
he's
one,
a
no
bitch.
one likes you, Notch. Go home. Okay, so with that controversial ending point there,
Right.
we'll now move on to our goodbyes. Sam, do you want to go first?
See you guys. Check out the Skyrim thing, and I hope you enjoyed all of us. And I'm very sorry for confusing ID. And
Yeah, you
I'm sorry.
Satanist. God, you a blasphemer. Jake, your goodbye, please.
Goodbye. Thank you
Please
for
to keep
listening,
it nice and
and subscribe.
I think I also signed off the last one because you just said goodbye. I said underwhelming as always. So yeah, Jake, underwhelming as always.
At
And
least his mic didn't cut out.
yeah, it's supposed. Yeah, that's the other thing. Jake has received generous donation by a fantastic all-round person who gave him his mic.
Severely cat-chewed.
Yeah,
Like,
cat mauled mic. Yeah, pretty much. It's the
Thank
one
you,
I
man.
don't. It's the one I don't use anymore. Okay. God, I'm gonna have to edit this so much, and it's not even really like the rest of it. It's just this final bit where we procrastinate just a lot. Well, not procrastinate.
Procrastinate.
oh, okay.
That's something else, isn't it? Okay. And it's a goodbye from me. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bye.